The native North American teepee was designed to be a home where the buffalo roamed. Centuries ago, tribes were constantly on the move hunting the buffalo, which was their main source of food. Easy to pack up and reassemble, the teepee served as a portable shelter for this nomadic lifestyle. Today, people are rediscovering the appeal of a cone-shaped tent with a cook fire inside, and that's put the teepee on the comeback trail. No need to hand-stitch teepees anymore. Today, they produce them at a factory using industrial sewing machines. They start with the front panel. It's 3 layers of canvas and vinyl. They sew details like pockets for poles to open smoke flaps and rectangular patterns to prevent stretching and tearing from holes for lacing the front of the teepee together when pitched. The sewer now chops through the 3 layers of fabric with a chisel to make those holes. Another sewer stitches strips of buffalo hide to the door opening to make it more rugged. Using a pattern as a guide, the next worker cuts another panel on a slight curve. He then pieces together panel after panel to construct the rest of the teepee cone. He reinforces the hem with heavy nylon webbing. He tucks loops between the webbing and the fabric and secures them with more stitching. The loops will be used to stake the teepee to the ground. The team stretches out the completed teepee cover. An artist maps out some lines for painting on the fabric. There's 67 meters of it. It becomes a huge canvas for traditional artistry. The designs are Southwest American in style and highly symbolic. Circles can represent phases of the moon or the sun. A sample of the artwork has been drawn up beforehand for the client, and the artist refers to it as she works. She brushes exterior latex paint thinned with water around the perimeter of the designs. Then she soaks up paint onto a pad and presses it to the fabric within the painted lines. This avoids brush strokes and produces a flat finish that almost looks like dye. With the artwork complete, the teepee cover now makes a colorful statement. Outside, an employee shaves the bark off young trees to prepare the poles. There are 17 per teepee. Each one is 8¼ meters tall, the height of a 2-story building. A 2-person team now arranges 3 of the poles in a specific sequence to build the tripod that is the basic framework of the teepee. The assembler lashes the poles near the top with thick rope and a tight knot. He leaves a long length of rope to dangle as they raise the tripod. The rope will come in handy later on. The arrangement situates the door pole east towards the rising sun and away from westward winds that could interfere with the cook fire. The team props up the remaining poles between the main tripod poles. The first 2 groups of poles form the front of the teepee, and a 3rd group forms the back. The assembler grabs the rope that still dangles from the central tripod and from the ground winds it around all the poles, where they meet at the top. The last pole is called the lifting pole. It's used to lift the painted teepee cover to the wood frame. They unbundle the cover and wrap it around the poles, like a blanket around a person's shoulders. Once the fit is nice and snug, he laces the front panels together using willow branches for lacing pins. There are 18 pins in total, fastened above and below the doorway. He pegs the canvas to the ground and then installs 2 last poles for opening and closing the smoke flaps from the ground. Traditional in design with modern-day materials and construction, the teepee is still an idea worth pitching.